After my switching from A6400 to A7 III, I had a lot of questions from you guys about do I satisfied of my decision that I changed good modern APS-C camera to old but still relevant full frame. Even after my previous video where I completely compared these two cameras, I realized that I didn't fully answer for this question, and it makes sense to make another separate video about exactly this question and give you my own feedback. It will be a very interesting video because I'm gonna tell you not only why I changed my camera, but also a lot of useful and important moments that would help you if you just started video shooting. Personally, I would like to know all of this when I just started video shooting because it could save me a lot of time, a lot of good footages and money, of course. But before we get started, I just want to say thank you for your attention to my channel, I really appreciate that. And if it's the first time you're here, hi, my name is Vlad and I will be grateful for your subscription, comment, like, and let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. My journey in videography has been started a very long time ago, I think in 2008 when I was at school yet. I was working with Movie Maker, it was video editor from Microsoft Windows if I'm not mistaken. Then I had not bad on that time camera from Nikon, Coolpix L310, and probably since that time I have been always nearly this niche. But my professional meaningful match with videography has started when I made my first YouTube channel dwt, and then I bought my first camera, nearly professional camera, Sony A6400. I was looking for unique mobile camera for vlogging, 4K of course, with good characteristics for its price and with flip screen. That time Dima, who is videographer, advised me to buy Sony and only Sony. Since I don't know anything about cameras and about all of this, I trust him and you know, I still have no regret about my decision. Because this camera gave me a lot of opportunities and helped not only with my YouTube channel, but in video production in general. After a while, when I figure out how it works and knew all basics about videography from aperture, shutter speed to white balance, zebras, picture profiles, etc., I have started to make videos for my clients. It was promotional videos, weddings, videos for social media, it doesn't matter, the main point is I have started to be a videographer. And the main question, why I decided that I need another camera. Of course at the beginning of video shooting it was hard, but in the same time it was incredible because it's my hobby which I very like and I can make money with it, so perfect. Every time new trick, interesting shots in video editing, but after a while with more and more different projects and places, different lights, conditions, I started to feel restrictions for myself in some ways and even powerlessness. It is very important to admit that when I was shooting YouTube videos with Sony A6400, everything was perfect, incredible, picture was great. I have no comments for this camera, because if you make good environment of your camera, it is clear that you will be able to make a good quality picture. You can help your camera with additional light, softboxes, lamps, whatever. You can set manual decent white balance with the help of gray card, adjust additional settings, and picture will be unchanged during the whole shot. But in video shooting, for instance on weddings, unfortunately you don't have time for this, almost never, because you constantly need to be ready in different locations during the whole day and don't miss any important moments, because it is crucially, you can't afford yourself to miss it. Therefore, of course, sometimes you forced to work with high ISO values in pretty dark areas with automatically white balance and just hope that everything will be fine. But in this case it is already depends on your camera and its opportunities. Does it able to work in so low light areas, how autofocus will work in these conditions, white balance and etc. So where I'm going? As I said earlier, the A7 III works way better in low light places with full frame sensor. And if you work videographer, somehow you will be facing with it anyway. The same situation with automatically white balance. It also works better in the A7 III than in A6400, unfortunately. In good conditions, autofocus in both of cameras manage perfectly, but if it is low light again, in the A7 III it works better. Let's go further. For example, you have 12 hours shoot day. It could be simply wedding day in Ukraine. How do you think, how many batteries you will need if you use Sony A6400 for this day? From 10 to 15. Nearly that. It is of course depends on batteries, are they originally or it is cheap analogs. Of course you can charge them during the day with your dock station or power bank. You have to admit it is very uncomfortable and even dangerous, because when you are charging batteries you could miss important actions. A week ago, for almost 3 hours with the A7 III, I spent only one original battery and not new battery. Of course with pauses, but like on weddings. Yeah, probably at first time you won't see big differences between footages of both cameras, but it's only at first time. Let's go next. What you will do if you need to shoot slow motion videos with 50 fps or even 100 fps. You have only one variant in these cameras, it is shooting with Full HD resolution. Should I remind you that the A6400 and any camera from this APS-C series has badly quality Full HD. But if you need the slow-mo shots, you will have to shoot in Full HD anyway. And your final clip won't be so quality and professional as it could be. Yes, of course, post-editing, add sharpness, noise reductions, color grading, but folks, we all will know that it isn't right and it should be good originally. I'm pretty sure that you don't want to always solve these problems that way every single time. Unlike the A6400, the A7 III has decent Full HD picture and you freely can work with it, and don't worry. Then I need to remind you about rolling shutter. If you like to shoot sport dynamic videos in post-editing, you will have some problems with picture and not always you will be able to solve it on post. Sensor size again, it always ruins everything. You need to realize I'm not trying to discredit the A6400. It is powerful, amazing camera, especially for YouTube and vlogging. All this video built on my own experience, my thoughts and my observations, why I decided to choose the A7 III. If you think the A7 III doesn't have any disadvantages, let's start with recording limit 30 minutes. Trust me, it is a very bad thing. It will make you some troubles. Then immovable screen. If you are shooting YouTube videos or vlogs and you don't have external monitor, it will also make your process way harder. Trust me, it is very uncomfortable when you don't see yourself on the screen of the camera when you are shooting yourself. I already know it. Of course, the A7 III heavier than the A6400, it is simultaneously good and bad, all depends on how and where you will use it. Let's go to the next. When I bought the A7 III, I just like, yes, finally I can work with S-Log profiles, because I already have full frame, but no one says that everything will be so easy. I realized that even with the full frame I won't be able to work with S-Log profiles because of 8-bit. This camera also doesn't have enough technical opportunities to provide me a good quality picture like 10-bit cameras, for example A7 IV or A7S III. That's why I still mostly use HLG profile like in my previous camera. And yes, it is really good picture profile, flexible, and it more than enough for quality color grading, but you notice like my unfinished gestalt, which I can't close. Anyway, as you see, the A7 III has a lot of moments and it's not so perfect as you imagine. For not everyone. For me personally, yes, because I work videographer and mostly I record in other people. With the A6400 it was definitely conveniently to shoot YouTube videos, and it would be really great to have both these cameras on my stuff, but Currently, it isn't my variant. Therefore, if you are in the same situation as I was, you should ask yourself, could I accept all these bad things in this camera and buy it because instead of this it has this and this? Do I still want this camera after all what I knew about it? And finally, do I really need this camera? Or it is just my blind wish list? If you have 3 yes, well, why are you asking?
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again.